go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Well,
we go again.
you'd like to go again. You'd like to go again.
A round of applause.
Yeah, I should have explained it better. It's my fault.
No, it's not.
So here we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go. And
Nice.
so we're in. So yeah, so it looks like you're having a successful run from what I can see.
Yeah.
Sold out performances. The audiences are loving it. The woman next to me was terrified.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
what we're going for.
she was absolutely terrified come the end. And I do think that has something to do with the writing there. That has something to do with the fact that not everything was shown and seen. And there was a lot of mystery to what the hell is going on within this play. So
that's my favourite thing about the script. I think horror is so much scarier in like films and theatre when it doesn't show what you're scared of, because as soon as you see it, it's kind of like you've got that element of control. I think the unknown in your imagination is like so much more terrifying.
I think it's also about using the kind of limitations of doing a fringe show, a very like small budget fringe show with a small cast, to our advantage, and playing in that fear of the unknown, which we all kind of have on a base level anyway, and just kind of exploiting it. And I think when we think about horror theatre, we naturally think about kind of big effects and big production value in order to kind of get scares, but you don't need that at all.
No, less is definitely more, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
And we tell us, while we're watching something like that, we're telling ourselves stories as an audience member, and we're like trying to figure, like, that's the intrigue that's going on there, and we're like, what is happening here? And actually you say like this being a fringe show and there's limitations. I actually thought the lighting was quite good in this show. Yeah, I've seen a few shows now here at the Fringe, and the lighting has been generally very basic. Whereas there was a good lighting setup for this.
I think like it depends as well. Like a lot of it is just the venue you get. To be honest, that is a lot of it. But our lighting designer Yanni, she was sick. She just she had a really clear idea what she wanted. So we were in a different venue for 9 shows, and then we moved to this venue. That was all part of the plan. That wasn't like a last minute, oh no. But that would have killed me, I think, if that happened. But and in that one, it was a more basic setup, but you still got the same effect from it. The only difference in that one was they couldn't have those lights that had the little sort of leaf shapes in it, but it still worked really well. And I think a lot of it is she used a lot of sort of slow fades, so that it's gradually getting darker, but you don't really realise it is until it is quite dark.
Yeah, everything else I'm seeing is basically lights on and lights off.
Yeah, and I do get why. But
it's time, isn't it, and the amount of shows that are happening here.
We were really lucky to have Yanni on board, because she was just amazing. Like, if it had just been me figuring it out, I'd have been like, let's get a red light at some point, I don't know. But yeah, no, she's really cool.
Yeah, also she did the lighting design as well. Oh, sorry, the lighting design, we just talked about that. She did the sound design too.
Okay.
And just when we were talking about how the light begins to fade and it's subtle, is also what we have on the whole time is just general forest noises. So during the day, obviously it's more like birds tweeting and things like that there, and then as it begins to fade into nighttime, it's like crickets. And it's just very subtle, but I think it's what makes this so immersive is because it's the sounds you would normally hear being in the forest.
There's an atmosphere that's constant throughout the whole show.
Yeah, exactly. So it creates such a brilliant atmosphere, I think, for sure. She's done a brilliant job there, so she has.
And how is it being here at the Fringe? What are you enjoying about this whole experience?
Final week, baby.
Yeah.
I keep having conversations with people where neither of us make sense, but like we're both enjoying it. So yeah, it's just great. There's so many opportunities, like stuff to see. Bumped into lots of people I know, like met some new great people.
Yeah.
Also, like we've benefited from like having performers passes for stuff and like doing discount deals with other companies and that. So like you can watch so much more than would ordinarily like be affordable. And I live in London, so obviously that's horrific.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot, how theatre in London is becoming so unobtainable, especially to people that love theatre, and if we're performers, it's really hard to get into theatre, isn't it now, because of the cost.
Yeah.
Whereas here, there's something really beautiful happening.
Yeah, as well with that, I think with highly costing theatre, is you're likely to take the safe option, knowing things that you like. But that's what I love about the Fringe, is you're dabbling in things that you've never experienced before. Things like circus has definitely been something for me. Horror as well seems to be a lot of the people that I meet. I've never really watched folk horror or horror in general on stage, and they've ended up really loving it. And I've met people who are like, I'm going to put that on next year, which has been really lovely. So that's one of the best elements for me of the Fringe, is that you can experience things you wouldn't normally experience.
Yeah. Also, like, on the flip side of that, finding really like-minded people that you just would not have had the chance to connect with otherwise. But we're all been thrown into this like festival for a whole month, and we've naturally tried to seek out other horror-y, spooky shows, because there aren't actually that many of us. I think horror it's not mainstream in theatre, other than like a ghost story, two a ghost story and Woman in Black, but they're like a very specific kind of horror, whereas ours is quite different. So it's been great finding other people who are also really passionate about.
Having been a theatre producer in my past life, I was always looking for kind of like seasonal pieces, stuff to do at different times of year. And you're right, I've struggled to find something to do kind of around that Halloween time that isn't like for kids, or something that is mainstream and West End, like Woman in Black. There isn't kind of anything filling that gap, like the in-between.
Yeah, I think as well on that, because obviously Halloween is great for horror theatre, but something that I've kind of been thinking a lot while we've been here, and something that I want to kind of try and push to be a bit different with Blackbright, is I don't want us to just be doing shows around that October slot, because horror is like, it's an innate part of like life, like fear, horror, like those kind of insecurities and anxieties. So yeah, I was talking to a programmer the other day, and they were like, yeah, maybe around October, and I don't think they realise that, well, if we want to be doing work generally, we can't just all do that week of Halloween. So it's definitely something that hopefully going forward as well, try and like do a bit of a push for that, because it's good, like other times of the year, it's good to have a mixture of things as well. So yeah, but
I think what it is, I think the audience are out there seeking something a little scary around that time of year, aren't they? I think that's what it is, and that's why the programmers are looking for something a little bit darker.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think there needs to be a change in mindset towards horror theatre, though. Obviously,
it happens with film, doesn't it? We get horror films throughout the year, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. And I love the genre, and I love genre as well. But it's not. I mean, it's not super hip at the moment in theatre. It just isn't. No. But that's what excites me, and it's what excites us and other people out there as well, that they're looking for something different, and horror is that. It is that something different. And I think it's not just for October, it's for life. You know, so that were it.
Horror is for life. I like that.
Good tagline there, Mads.
So what's been your biggest takeaway then from doing the Fringe this year?
Well, I mean, this isn't a real takeaway, it's tiring, but of course it is. Maddie and I did Blackbright show last year for Fringe. It was a completely different experience though last year than I'd say this year. I don't know whether that's partly just because last year there was 3 of us up the whole time. This year there's 4 of us up the whole time, but occasionally the lighting designer and sound designer Yanni or the director Shan will come up. Shani, we call them. They're a little duo. They are a duo. But I think, well, one thing though is like, whilst, you know, it's really great, a lot of the venues having more affordable options, a lot of places, a lot of people have been saying like, there's definitely certain venues that just, you can just see those prices getting just insane. And it's just like that kind of idea of like, we need to not do that, please, like as much as possible. So that's something that's, I think I've noticed a lot more, like it's just, I've really had to like just cut down a lot more than I would have, just because we've all taken it in turns to be like, well, I have no money now, so what about you? But yeah, so that's like not a great thing, but in general...
This seems to be the biggest struggle that I'm hearing everyone say is the cost of just surviving this, just putting your art on, doing your thing. Yeah. And of course these places are going to they want to make money, they are businesses, but to the point that they push everyone out.
And it's just the cost of everything, you know. Like, I mean, you're the producer. I've luckily been hired as an actor and not had to deal with any of the booking accommodation or any of that other horrible stuff. But it is really expensive and inaccessible. And we were really lucky to get like the Keep It Fringe fund and also the support from like Sheffield Theatres that you've had. So it's just there needs to be lots of little funding pots and opportunities for people to apply to stuff. And I think there's a lot of people really like pushing that and making these new like initiatives and schemes, which is super positive. It's just you've got to really love it, and luckily we do, because it can be quite hard.
Yeah.
And I guess when you really do love something and you do want to do it, I guess there's some sacrifices that we need to make sometimes, and take some risks and to seek some opportunities.
Yeah, I suppose the Fringe is a risk each time, isn't it? I mean, you don't actually know for sure that you are going to sell, but you just have to believe in your work and try and market it as much as you can. But it is worth it, and it's absolutely paid off. I mean, it paid off last time round, but it's absolutely paid off this time round as well. I just feel so lucky that we were able to do it.
So I've been into some shows already that have had 6 people in, and it's very tiny, similar sized spaces. What do you think you guys are doing different then to get the audiences to come through the door?
That sounds like confusing.
It does sound like a producer question. Incessantly being online, I think, helps. Being very kind of a lot of stuff in the run up to it as well, I think. And it's really easy when you're here to just kind of like not want to go out and fly or whatever, because it's so tiring, and like the days just
it's
kind
tiring
of
to
go.
do a show, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then to do anything else on top of that.
Yeah, and like myself and Ellen are also working like remotely at the minute as well for our actual jobs. So
Not normal jobs. Oh, right.
Flyer in, you're doing a bit of work at Summer Hall. Like it's all.
Yeah, so it's a lot, but I think it's helped though that we've also got a little bit of a backing behind us now, because we did Fringe last year, and because we have those connections with Sheffield Theatres, and because we connected this year with Strut Safe, which is a volunteer-led phone line that people can call if they're walking home alone. Those are all things that have helped, because there's multiple people kind of involved who will like help to like promote it, or word of mouth for those reasons. So I think it's a lot of like actually talk. It sounds stupid, but like actually talking to people really helps. Like Mimi's great, because with her Irish accent, she'll go up and then she'll be like, I've got like a whole bunch of people coming tomorrow, and like it's true every time. I don't know how you manage it, but so that bit of the Irish luck, I think, helps.
I think just talking a lot of crap, to be honest, just kind of works in my favour.
I think that pulls people in. I've seen a lot of people handing out flyers and they're just like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you say hello to someone, or you make a connection with someone, it makes such a difference. And the Irish are good at that.
Yes, that is true. Yes, it does work, thankfully. I've just befriended a lot of people from flyering. There's a big flyering community. And just they want to support other artists is there, which is really nice. And I think we've had artists come to our show, and we've come to their show. And I think it's what's really beautiful about the Fringe as well. But yes, just literally talking to a lot of people, and I do, and I think actually as well, art poster, which is done by our artist Lucy, by the way, has done a brilliant job. And I think what I've noticed from flyering is, I've seen this, and it's an eye-catching thing. I think the poster does definitely stand out.
Yes,
And
I've been
really
walking
helped.
along looking at some of the posters and being like, there's a lot of samey stuff going on. Like they're following a trend of, it's got to be done with seeing the person's face in a certain way in certain colours. But then if everyone's following the same trend, how's your one going to stand out?
Yeah.
Well, your one's different.
Yeah, because it's already got that sort of eerie aspect in it. And it's dark as well. You sometimes think bright things would catch people's eyes, but I think when you have a lot of bright colours, then you don't so much. And then in the middle we've had our sort of darker poster and everything. I just think because it's done so incredibly as well, it's like why is she looking a certain way in that poster? What does this mean with the eyes? People are already asking questions about that.
Yeah.
Of the
The
unknown.
intrigue is there from the start.
Yeah, so that's been really great. Like,
And the prints as well.
Yeah, I wish I had one on me now to show, but I'll send you a picture of them. But like, we were selling them at the end of the show, so the artist Lucy decided like a few days before Fringe, I'm actually going to learn how to lino print now. We're like, okay, because she made a lino print style for the poster, because obviously that really goes into like folklore and like sort of connects to those sort of ideas of like horror and like forests, and I always think of like kind of like nature and all of that. And then she taught herself how to do it so that she could sell some prints while she was here. She just wanted to basically cover her cost of doing it and see if she could. But they've got down so well. I think we have like 13 left. No, I think we have like 10 left, and we started with like 50. So.
I think people do like to support you, and they also do like a little takeaway. Because a lot of people.
Like, pay what you can.
Yeah.
So it's like if people can vote more, great. But if they can't, like they can have that little takeaway, like you said.
Yeah. Because people are here for the experience as well, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and something to take away, like a little memento, little memory to take from that. So, well done, guys. I congratulate you on a good show and a successful Fringe from what I can see. So, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and lovely to meet all of you. And if anyone wants to find out more about you guys, about the theatre company, where do they go to look?
So it's Black Bright Theatre Company. So black, the colour, and then bright like a light. Black Bright Theatre Company. We're on everything. We're on Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram. We've got a website as well. We're still performing until the 24th is our last show. Saturday, so we've still got 4 shows left. I completely lost track of time and everything
now. I have no idea what day we're on.
But we're always looking for opportunities for people to like connect with us and like reach out. Like if anyone's looking to program something a bit different, or if they're wanting to like connect, like the way that we have with Strut Safe, the charity. We'd love to, and we're independent, queer, neurodivergent, female theatre company as well, so all those things are like sort of helps us to branch out and meet new people. So yeah, we're online a lot. And yeah,
and I'll make sure I add links to the comments below for all of everything you've just mentioned. So well done again, guys. Thank you. And if anyone has been watching or listening, thank you for joining us for this conversation.
thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Cheers.